of businesses who are using chatbots, people still type stuff, they get output and then manually pasting output somewhere else or doing some actions on this. Versus when agents own the outcomes, they literally go from doing the work end to end. One rule of thumb is whenever you have an irreversible decision, let the human review it and approve it.
The shift is from AI you ask questions to AI agents that take on whole tasks end to end while your people review and approve.
Take one workflow, which is the biggest pain point for you, go deep into it and use the tools and products which embed AI within your workflow. Don't just use the chat agents because they are going to still keep your work with the staff.
Hello everyone, this is Kripa Anand and welcome to the CanadianSME Small Business Podcast. Most AI tools help your team work a little faster. Our guest today has gone further. Software that doesn't just help with the work, it does the work itself. The shift is from AI you ask questions to AI agents that take on whole tasks end to end while your people review and approve. That's how GenLedge runs a business on AI agents that plug into the systems it already runs: accounting, ERP, CRM, and the inbox. Today, we get into how this works and what it means for the businesses that adopt it first. Joining us today is Kulwant Yadav, founder and CEO of GenLedge. Kulwant spent over a decade building financial products at enterprise scale as a vice president of product management at JP Morgan Chase and as a chief product manager at FedEx, and holds an MBA from the Indian Institute of Management, Ahmedabad. Now in Canada, he's bringing the kind of enterprise-grade automation only the biggest companies could ever afford to Canadian distributors, manufacturers, and trade businesses. So before further ado, let's welcome this very special guest. Kulwant, welcome to the podcast. Such a pleasure to have you with us.
Thank you for having me.
Now, Kulwant, almost every business owner has fooled around with basic AI prompts at this stage, right? But there's a massive difference between when a team member is using AI, ChatGPT, Claude as a quick brainstorming buddy and an organization deploying autonomous AI agents into their core business systems. So let's start the conversation by understanding tools like ChatGPT and Claude got every business comfortable with AI as a helper. The shift now is that agentic AI, what it means, what it does, and what separates the business from getting real productivity from just saying that, we're using AI. So what's your take on that?
It's chatbots are kind of 2025, 2024. AI is moving at a very fast pace.
Yeah.
Now, this is the era of agents.
Right.
When agents own the outcomes, that's when the real productivity gains happen. So a lot of businesses who are using chatbots, people still type stuff, they get output and then manually pasting output somewhere else or doing some actions on this.
Yeah.
Versus when agents own the outcomes, they literally go from doing the work end to end. So go from you entering every data and you're trying to brainstorm with the chat agents. It goes from there to agents owning the whole workflow. Like for invoice processing in accounts payable, you start with just throwing the data on chat agent, then it gets you some data, categorize some stuff, and then you enter it manually in the ERP. Versus agent outcome owning model is agents look at your email, find whenever the new invoice comes in, figure out who the customer is,
Right.
then go from there, categorizing that, matching it with the PO and all of that 2-3 matching, and then gets in your ERP and takes actions, writes emails to the clients if needed. So that's where the end-to-end flow is owned by agents, and that's where the businesses really see, or the enterprises really see, the productivity gains.
No, that is definitely a very clear distinction, because the winners aren't just downloading new tools, they are mapping their operational processes so clearly that an AI agent can actually follow the logic and execute that task independently without any, external force, just in the approval process it's needed. Um, Now, when you successfully cross that difference, the math changes completely. Now, let's look at how that efficiency builds on itself and where the human guardrails still need to sit. So, when AI goes from answering questions to running multi step work on its own, where does the productivity actually compound? And what should a human, still sign off on?
Yeah, so there are two parts to this question, right? One is where does the productivity real compounds?
Yeah.
So that's when the businesses go from saving those productivity gains and working on those. So one is when you have the, let's say, chat agents are doing all but work, you are working with them, your employees are getting some help from them, versus now agents are owning the output. So when agents own output, you save a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of energy there.
Of course.
So your productivity goes from 3, 4, 5x. So now how do you use that, those productivity gains is makes the difference, and that compounds it. So you use that to gain more business, to talk to your customers, to talk to your vendors, make strategic decisions. That's when you're multiplying it by 3 and 4x.
Definitely. I think the compounding value comes from freeing up your human capital to focus on the strategic execution of your business, while the repetitive tasks AI can take care of. That's amazing.
Yeah. The second part of the question
Yeah.
was, where do humans still get involved?
Yes.
The one rule of thumb is, whenever you have an irreversible decision,
Right.
that's when all of the systems usually today take care of that internally. But those are the areas where you have an irreversible decision. Let the human review it and approve it.
So at every business has a different workflow as well, right? So what GenLech offers, is it a one size fits all, or is it more of a custom solution?
We do completely custom implementations for all of our clients. The way AI works is it replaces the mundane or the repetitive tasks
Yeah.
human do, right? And every business has figured out their own processes.
Yes.
So you have to do custom implementation if you are implementing any of the AI. You get standard AI pipelines or solutions or workflows which work for 90% of the businesses or 90% of the time. And that 10% requires that tweaking. So that's where we help come in, implement, and then the workflow goes smoothly from there.
That is amazing. Now, I'd love to understand, did you always wanted to become an entrepreneur yourself, or is it something that you stumbled upon in your career? So, how did you get to do what you're doing right now?
Yeah, the last I was 5 years back, I was working for JP Morgan Chase,
Yeah.
and I saw the big enterprises getting the benefits which small businesses don't get it. And that's where we started. At that time, there were a lot of smaller fintechs were revamping the whole space or revolutionizing the whole credit card space. And I was handling credit card for JP Morgan Chase.
Yeah.
I thought of, why don't we provide the same benefits to small startups and let them grow? And that's where we started Kuku5, which was our first company. And then we saw another opportunity after that, which was in the small business segment, how small businesses can use AI to make their operations much more efficient and autonomous now.
Hmm. That's very interesting. So, in your entire journey, if I were to ask you your favorite thing about entrepreneurship that you enjoyed the most, what was it?
Seeing the customers appreciating your work.
Wow, that's a true founder statement that you've made.
Yeah, when I go and talk to a customer, and they say, "Hey, you made my life so easy." We have um, a mobile truck repair shop. They run 5 different locations,
Yeah.
and the technicians go out in the field and fix, really helping the business Canadian economy moving.
Yeah.
So they were doing all of this data entry manually. The sales orders will come in, they will do it manually. 3 people sitting and doing all of that work, sending the technicians, creating the invoice and sending it to the customers, and then following up. it was eating up that small business's 30% of the time in the week. And after we implemented AI, that whole 30% time got reduced to around 5%. And those 25% productivity gains, they have gone 2x from where they were before implementing AI in terms of the revenue. As for small business, that kind of growth is really good, helps the whole staff working in the business and the families.
Definitely, because as a small business, they are so conscious about, of course, every penny that's going out of their pocket, right? Because they are in that scaling stage. So this is a boon for not just the small business community, but also for the individuals who are wanting to start businesses, but don't have the capital or the access. So that is amazing. To the distributors, supply chain operators, and manufacturing executives watching. In 2026, forcing your admin staff to manually transcribe handwritten work orders and key invoices into your ledgers is a massive burn of corporate capital. Kulwant and his award-winning systems engineers at GenLedge are completely revolutionizing mid-market back-office operations. Nominated by the Brampton Board of Trade as a top company in tech and innovation, GenLedge deploys over 200 autonomous AI agents across 10 specialized pipelines directly inside the QuickBooks, Xero, and Sage systems you already use, requiring zero rip and replace software overhauls. Their newly launched inventory and field service management module automatically ingests messy inbound email orders, cross-references livestock counts, mapped lines, SKUs, and schedule file technicians with zero manual configuration. If you're ready to onboard an agentic team in less than 2 weeks and instantly lift your workforce into higher value customer management, visit genledge.ai today to claim your workflow diagnostic. Anchor your accounting infrastructure in machine speed accuracy today. It's time for a quick break right here, but don't go anywhere. When we return, we'll explore how workforce AI upskilling is transforming teams into high value operators. Stay tuned.
Hey, you think you know UPS? Yeah, that's us. Everybody knows that. You know what you didn't know? This. Okay, try to keep up. Ocean, us. Ground, rail, air, so us. Guess who? Us. Customs cleared, borders cleared, done. Us. Still with me? Wait for it. Boom. Us. Intelligent, automated, fulfillment. Us. Yep. Healthcare too. Digital your thing? Yeah. Well, book it, ship it, track it. You feeling me yet? Yep. That's all us. That's all UPS.
Welcome back. Let's dive into Kulwant's insights on turning your office staff into analytical leaders and AI-related workflows. Now, for a business, say, who's listening to you right now and who is, ready to put that agentic AI to work, what's the biggest early mistakes that, you've seen them make? And what would you suggest that they should not do specifically in the next 1 to 2 years if they want to scale with the right AI in their workflow?
So one is not trying AI. That's the biggest mistake. There are tools available. There were a time when the cloud, or this, say, internet came or cloud came.
Yeah.
You needed a lot of money and a lot of infrastructure to use those products. AI, you can literally use in $20. So try it, and then you'll see real productivity gains even from trying, and you see it works.
Yeah.
The second is, don't go wide, go deep. Pick a workflow, pick a space, and then go deep into it. Automate it end to end using AI. Use those efficiencies and productivity gains, and validate that with your team. And that's when you move wide and implement it across the platform or across the organization.
That's very well articulated because, it gives a structure to it. We've talked about AI, but we can't have this conversation without the human element part of it as well, right? So now with the entire workflows changing, humans are being replaced by AI agents. When we talk about maintaining a company culture, that is also going to change tremendously, right? So
That's right.
what do you think firstly, I'd love to understand from you that what does the word team culture or, having that intimacy in the office workplace means for you personally? And how do you think that will change with now AI coming into the place?
So AI does not replace people. None of the technology did. When the new technology comes, we adopt to it,
Right.
and then we become more productive.
Yeah.
The same thing happens when machines came. Same thing happens when computers came. Same thing happened when cloud came. So all of this improves your productivity and frees up the team or the staff from the repetitive work. Or the work the humans get into, or the staff gets into doing the intelligent and the work which requires the human judgment.
Yeah.
At the same time, to learn AI, you don't really need to learn coding. AI has moved to a stage where it is readily available to be used by everybody in the team.
Yeah.
So adopt to that and become more productive. Do the work which you really enjoy. So that will get people into. I'll give you an example. One of the team we are working with, come the month end, and the initial 3-4 days of the month, they were extremely busy in doing the month end workflow in the finance team. Other time they were okay, not tied up that much, but these 7, 8, 10 days would really kill them. And that's changed with AI. So the AI helps people there. So staff is more happier generally.
Yeah.
Because that workload is taken off and divided throughout the month. AI works continuously and does all of that month end close work. And that makes people generally happy. And I hope that that's the change which will come with
Right.
AI.
Definitely, it makes sense when people have more, time on their hands and their schedules. They are able to connect with each other in a much better mental capacity as well.
It's not just time. When we
Yeah.
look at it, it's just what kind of work as a human we want to do.
Yes.
Yeah. If we are asked to do that repetitive work every single time,
Right.
and which does not require any judgment or any intelligence.
We're wasting our own senses and our own brain, right? And just
Right.
doing copy paste, basically.
Humans are much more happy when they do much more mental work and much
Simulation,
more
yeah.
satisfying work that way.
That makes a lot of sense. Now, when AI agents are going to take those responsibilities from human of the repetitive tasks and everything, the skills that with which people used to apply for jobs are also going to change now, right? Because everything AI is doing right now. So what is it that you are bringing to the table is now going to be a big question. So from that perspective, I'd love to understand from you, what do you think are the biggest soft skills that are going to make an individual successful or not successful? Because as you said, coding and everything, though, everyone can learn from ChatGPT or any AI agent, right? So what is it that you cannot learn from those AI agents that you need to have within your innate self to be able to do something? So what do you think?
Yeah, the thing which AI is changing is twofold in this sense. One is AI is making you change the way you work, which is you spend more time building relationship with your customers, with your vendors, with all the stakeholders, and within your team as well. So that's one big thing. The second thing is, how do you learn to use AI?
That is a skill that you'll have
Yes,
to learn
that's
now.
the skill which you will have to improve
Prompt
on.
engineering, yeah.
Yes.
It was a very
Yes.
beginning of when we used to start it from ChatGPT.
Yes, the prompt engineering is in fact the key, I would say, but it has gone beyond that.
Yes.
So when we speak about AI today, most of AI we talk about today is LLMs.
Yes.
And those are large language models
Right.
which understand the language very well.
Right.
And that's why prompt engineering, which is like text and the language,
Yeah.
is extremely important. But now there is a sophisticated way of prompt engineering. All of that is embedded in your tools. So for example, if you use Cloud Code today, so all of that is embedded. You don't need to do that, but at the back, Anthropic does all of that in their cloud tools. So when you ask a question, agents fan out and they do a lot of work to understand that question and do a lot of that research. So and they build the perfect prompts for all of these different workflows which are happening in the parallel. So you are not building the prompt, the tools are building. And then you go a level beyond. You use tools like Channel Edge, where your AI agents are embedded within your workflow.
Right.
So all of those prompt engineering lies within your product now. So you don't need to even chat or prompt it.
Anymore.
The email comes in and the workflow triggers from that, and AI does all of the work. Or there is a WhatsApp message comes in, or it's a scheduled task, which is at the end of the month, I need to do this. AI wakes up and does all of the work. So now all of that prompt engineering is embedded right there. But what the staff or the people need to learn now is how AI works, where do you need to review the work, and how do you review that work, and understand what AI is capable of. That is going to change a lot.
This is revolutionary, to say the least. I'm loving this conversation today, and definitely I'd love for you to be back, hopefully for a deeper discussion that we do the next time with him. But for now, before we let you go, if there's one final piece of advice that you have for our listeners today, something that you want to tell them, about taking that leap of faith, of just trying AI with that open mind and heart, if you could whisper something into their ears, what would you say and why?
I would say that start with something.
Start with something.
That's extremely important for small businesses. So pick one workflow, go deep into it. It's extremely important. See the success there.
Yeah.
All the previous technologies, they were failing in the initial stages 70%, 80%, 90% of the times. AI does not have to. Whatever work need to be done in terms of abstracting all of that out and making it available, that has been done by a lot of foundational model companies like OpenAI and Anthropic and Perplexities of the world.
Yeah.
So try it out, take one workflow, which is the biggest pain point for you, go deep into it, and use the tools and products which embed AI within your workflow. Don't just use the chat agents, because they are going to still keep your work with the staff.
Mm-hmm.
But when you use the outcome-based agents, which are embedded within your tools,
Yeah.
that's when the real productivity gains will happen, and you will see, and you can see it very early.
That is indeed a great reminder and a beautiful message. That was Kulwant Yadav from Gen Ledge AI, you guys. Thank you so much for being here and doing this with us. It was an absolute pleasure.
Thank you for hosting me. It's an absolute pleasure to kind of be here and helping the Canadian small businesses.
Of course. Thank you so much. All right, that was Kulwant Yadav from Gen Ledge, a masterclass in moving past superficial open tabs, deploying autonomous AI agents to run order intakes directly inside platforms like QuickBooks, Xero, Sage, and so many more, and understanding why keeping humans in the loop protects corporate margins in 2026. To all the listeners, thank you so much for tuning in to the Canadian SME Small Business Podcast. Be sure to subscribe and visit CanadianSME.ca for more such resources. To learn more about how we are supporting the ecosystem, please visit the Canadian SME Small Business Foundation at smbfoundation.ca. A very special thank you to our partners, UPS, our shipping partner, and ADP, our HR partner, for their ongoing commitment to empowering SMBs across Canada. I'll see you all in the next episode. Kripa Anand signing off.